Hi, Sparkles, and welcome back to Intuitive Wisdom. This is episode 238, and today we're diving into our May insights, centered around the theme of freedom. But not freedom in the way we usually think about it. Not more time, not more space, not getting everything done. This kind of freedom is more internal. It's about how you're directing your energy, where your focus is going, and whether all the doing is actually supporting you or quietly holding you back. Because sometimes, in trying to do everything and not miss anything, we end up giving away our power of direction. Today, I'm joined by Christina Slaback, and we're exploring what it really looks like to tune in, fine-tune your focus, and align your actions with how you actually want to feel. This conversation is an invitation to pause, to check in, and to ask yourself what the next best step really is for you. Here we go. Welcome to Intuitive Wisdom, a space where insight meets energy and intuition leads the way. I'm K. Margaret Solorio, author, Angel Reiki Master, biotech graduate, and a guide for those seeking alignment in their home and life. Whether you're navigating change, clearing emotional clutter, or simply craving clarity, Intuitive Wisdom invites you to slow down, tune in, and rise into your authentic self. New episodes weekly. Come home to your own knowing. All right, Sparkles, quick announcements before we get to the episode. First, I've created a free 3-day experience to help you gently reset your space and your energy. It's called the Spring Energy Refresh. This isn't about perfection or deep cleaning your entire house. It's about clearing stagnant energy, inviting lightness back in, and reconnecting your space to the natural rhythm of spring. Inside, you'll get simple guided checklists, reflection prompts, and grounding rituals. Just 3 days, and by the end, your home will feel lighter, and so will you. You can download it for free at deliciousease.com/spring. And if you're ready for deeper support, I offer the Home Frequency Reset Service, which are remote sessions where I help clear the energy in your home so your space feels calm, supportive, and aligned again. Our homes hold on to the emotional residue of everything we experience, stress, transitions, even old patterns, and over time that can feel heavy. This work gently clears that buildup so your home can truly support you. You can learn more and book a session at deliciousease.com/services. And also, if you're looking for more, my book, Make Ease Your Vibe, is available now on Amazon in both paperback and Kindle versions. It's filled with practical tools to help you shift your mindset, your energy, and your time, your strategy with time, in a way that feels intuitive and supportive. When you purchase your copy, you can also get access to exclusive bonus content for each chapter. If you go to deliciousease.com, click on book at the top, enter in your information, and you'll get access. And finally, I'm so excited to share that Intuitive Wisdom now has listener support open. If this podcast has supported you in any way, you can give back with a monthly donation starting at just $3 a month. As a thank you, you'll receive a shout out on our monthly Insights episode, a custom blessing spoken in your name, and healing energy intentionally sent your way. It's a beautiful exchange of energy, and it truly helps these conversations flowing. You can become a supporter through the link in the show notes below. All right, Sparkles, let's get to the episode. Hello, Christina. Again, welcome. Exciting to see you. How are you?
I'm doing really well. How about you?
Also doing well. And we don't use visuals right now for the podcast, but we're both wearing green, and I thought that was a good sign.
We're so in tune.
We also talked about that we just, wanted to review our months and didn't necessarily have a specific topic in mind for this month, but that for me, that was a good sign. I had the pleasure of working with you and seeing your coaching abilities and results this past month. And that's really shown me another aspect of tuning in, that tuning in doesn't just mean tuning into your inner wisdom and your intuition, but also focusing, like not putting all your efforts onto everything. I'm definitely somebody who enjoys knocking all the things off my to-do list, and that feels very empowering and satisfying, but I don't think necessarily moves gets momentum rolling and moves everything forward as I would expect. So you've helped me kind of focus my efforts and tune into what actions would really speak to those desires and needs and goals. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I'm curious when you're talking about how, like, it's not just tuning into your intuition, because I think that this is something that a lot of people will relate to too, is that we get all of this feedback of like, tune into your intuition, trust, do all the work, do all the things. We're trying to get balance. And I think to your point, and if I'm hearing you correctly, it's that trying to do all of it and checking all the things off your list is actually it's keeping you kind of in this field that you're in, right? So you're making movements, but because you're like centered in this circle of all these things that you're doing, and you're making a little move here and a little move here, and you're just kind of standing. Like your circle can be getting bigger, but I think that when you're taking in you're intentionally focused on what are the key things that I want to do now, that then you can actually start to move and make more movement forward even though you're not necessarily focused on all of the things. Is that
Yes, and I think you showed me also that in my attempts to move forward and feel empowered, I was actually giving that power away because I had absorbed all this information about what it would take to get there, where I want to go and bring my business and my life and everything. And so I had taken all that learning and kind of set up all these to-do lists and go, great, I just got to trust the process and show up. And I'm happy to show up. I'm definitely a worker bee in that sense, but it wasn't, it removed, you helped me see that I kind of, what's the right word? It removed me from the equation, even though this was all for me and my life, my business. So focusing helped me go, oh wait, this is me setting that goalpost or that mile marker or that what's next, and me focusing my efforts and not necessarily putting away everything I've learned, but really fine tuning it so that it feels like you said, you're not kind of putting away your intuition, but you're aligning with it. So instead of taking all these ways, other people's ways of getting there, you kind of go, okay, I've learned all this. What do I really want out of it? How do I align with that?
Yeah, I think that that is a really great revelation to have too, because it's really bringing it full circle, because you've spent a lot of time, and I think we spend a lot of time consuming, trying to figure out what the right way to do things are, what we're supposed to be doing, all of these things to make sure that we're not missing anything. I think that that's how I do it, right? Is that I'll look and I'll want to make sure that I'm, getting all my bases. I'm covering everything and I'm doing all the things that I'm supposed to do sometimes. And I think that it can become something where for a lot of people where it does become like, all right, I'm just checking the box and I'm just doing the things that I need to do. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And then you're there's a lot of, catchphrase or whatever with embodied and aligned and all of these things, but it's actually just like you're talking about, like removing yourself from it. So it's not that I'm doing these and I'm looking at it and I'm reflecting and saying, what are the things that are really pertinent to me? What are the things and the areas that I really want to do to like make the biggest impact? It's just, did I get all the things done that I was supposed to get done today? And it can feel really productive in one sense because you're checking a lot of things off, but also I think that that's where that stuck feeling of that misalignment of like, well, why is nothing changing, or
Hmm.
why am I not seeing the results that I want? And I think that that is really frustrating for a lot of people. Is they feel like they're doing all the things that they need to, and I think that looking at it and being able to say, no, let's take a step back. Let's like let go of the checklist. Let's let go of those to-dos for a little bit. And let's check back in to us and to myself and to figure out what actually is the best next step for me and the areas that I need to. And I think that you hit on something that I have also been feeling like I've been having to just kind of fine tune over and over again. And that is that like dispersal of energy versus the focused energy.
Hmm.
And being able to take and say, okay, all of these other things, they're great, whatever, they're on the back burner right now. And I am consciously saying that I'm not giving all of my time and energy to them because I'm taking my time and energy and I'm putting it in this one and focusing on one thing. And you can make a lot of momentum in a short amount of time if you're putting your energy into that one area.
Yes.
And you can always pick
Agreed.
it up later.
Yes, that's another thing. It's that, oh, it's not the same, but you know how sometimes we have to grieve the person we thought we would have been at this stage? It kind of feels like that when you set aside some things that mean a lot to you on your to-do list, and it's have to make peace with the fact that just because you're setting it aside temporarily doesn't mean that you aren't that person. It just means right now in this season, you're focusing on something else because you can see that is the bridge to get you where you want to go, where you get to do everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I think that too, like as you're talking about this, and it is because I think that we have expectations on how we view what we need to do, and I think that this is one of the biggest things that I see with the women that I work with the women that I talk to. Like this is just we are trying to do all of it all the time right now. And so if you
Yeah.
let go of something, like that's part of this unconscious identity that you've created for yourself. And so many women are like, I am the strong one. I am the capable one. I can do the things. And we prove to ourselves over and over again, yeah, look at me. I am doing the things. I am doing all this stuff, but it's at what expense? And it's usually at the expense of ourselves. And being able to go back and be able to say, no, like, I'm consciously going to, and I think this is something that you did wonderfully well too, is like, no, you're like, I'm all in. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna do this. And there wasn't like a pushback too much and like, I have to maintain all of this. But I think that being able to say, no, I'm consciously letting go of these, and it does not mean that I am not these things. And I think too, like, I can say, like, I'm a runner, even though I haven't run for the last few months because it's been winter or whatever. Like, you can still have the identity and you can still own the identity and not actually be doing that right now just because that's not your priority right now. And you're doing other things. And so being able to be a little bit more gracious with ourselves and our identity so that we're actually filling this wholeness that we want because it's great to be able to say all these things. I'm the capable one. I'm strong one. I'm building a business. I'm working full time. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I'm a what? Like all of these different labels that we have, and being able to say like I have these high standards, and I know what I want and I know how I want to show up in all these ways. And I'm going to focus on these things that are most important to me right now. These are the things that are crying out for my attention. These are the things that I know that if I start to really push on, that it's going to make a difference. And honestly, when you put that focus on, and I think that, you had this as well too, where it's just like, I'm putting my focus and then it's like, oh, some of these things show up. And I didn't realize that that was there. And I didn't realize because I wasn't pushing forward enough
Mhm.
to realize that I was
The
just kind of
resistance and
encasing
scary
myself.
feelings.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think you also in this conversation have shown me that you've reminded and I've preached about it, but the being versus the doing, I think it's this mind trap that I fall so easily into that if I do all the right things, I will get there and then I will feel good. When the point is to feel good or like you said, that identity piece, to own that. And how can you align your actions with that experience of life that is the point?
Yes. And like identifying more so, and I think that this is one of the biggest things that I saw for myself too, is identifying that I am a person that is interested in feeling my best. That I am a person that is committed to feeling really good in the life that I have, regardless of outside circumstances. And that identity kind of going above any of the other ones. So, yeah, I can be this amazing hostess or whatever, and I can have all these people over and I can do this stuff. But if that's going to go against that overarching identity of like, I want to feel really good. And honestly, at this point, like that might feel really stressful, then I let that other one go and I take on like being able to change up and reframe the way that you're thinking about it. So it's not how many things can I get done this week, but it's how am I going to set myself up so that this week I'm doing really well and I'm getting the things done that I need to. And also next week, when I'm still going to have to show up, how am I setting myself up so that I'm going to be in a good place where I'm going to have energy then too? Because if I'm cranking it all out this week, I know that next week's me is going to feel exhausted. She's going to feel fatigued. She might be getting sick. Like, how can I do all of these things that I am taking into consideration how I want to show up as an overarching rather than just like, I just need to get through this because, if I just get through this week, it'll get easier. If I just get through this month, it'll get easier. If I just get through the
Mm.
summer or the school year or whatever it is, then my life will calm down. But in reality, I'm in charge of that. And I'm the one that's creating that hamster wheel. So, like, what can I do to know that I'm going to be in this for the long haul and I'm going to need energy in all of these other ways too. So I want to be committed to that and I want to choose how I feel and how I show up.
Yes, and aligning, even though I love goals, I know some people despise the word goal, but the idea of I find it really helpful to have that guiding light. Um, at this same time, I think it's really wonderful that you also gave me the gift of releasing that, like having a goal in mind, but that not being the end all be all, and aligning more with the excitement of believing in what might be possible. So, like, now it's exciting to show up because I'm like, okay, well, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if it's going to be great. I don't know if I'm going to fail. I don't know. Like, there are all these I don't knows. But on top of that, the excitement to see what might be happen and what might be possible is bigger. And I think it's really fun to align with that. And that also gives, it's another thing you helped me with, relieves the pressure throughout the day. There are too many things on my list right now to be
Yeah.
done and commitments to show up for. I can't keep up. But I don't sweat the small stuff as much because I'm still aligned with excitement. Like, yeah, well, that stinks. I didn't do the best on that, but you know what? Tomorrow I might do better. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's not as heavy.
And what a beautiful gift too to have like, I'm just going to be excited and just interested in what can happen and like the possibility rather than the expectation. Like I'm not expecting a certain
Right.
result, so I can just embrace
Yeah,
and
because
just be
that
open.
that result also comes with, was it Abraham Hicks that says that everything is like a stick with two ends or a coin with two sides.
Yeah.
And so that expectation of how I wanted something to be then also came with the flip side of I wasn't there. And that lack and that desperation. So letting that all go and just focusing on the excitement and not necessarily the daily barrage of, "Oof, you're not there yet," negative thoughts, um, is a lightness.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that it's like bringing in, like you're just saying, like having that ability to see the possibility so that it's not this heaviness that's weighed on it, lets the pressure off a little bit. And it lets you be able to play a little bit and have a little bit more fun because it's all just learning. And so it doesn't matter. And this is something in all transparency to our listeners and whatever, like this is something that has probably been one of the hardest things for me to learn. And that is like, success doesn't have to look a certain way. It doesn't have to be this certain thing. I have very high standards. I'm a like recovering type A, whatever, like very um specific ideas of what things should look like. And like you're saying, like looking around and saying, oh, well, this isn't the way I thought that it was going to, or this isn't the way I thought it was going to. And really being able to be really hard on myself about some of those things. And I think that mindset kept me. I thought it was pushing me. I thought it was
Mm,
driving me. I thought that it was making me better, and what it was
mhm.
honestly doing was making me smaller. It was making me take less risks because if I wasn't sure that I was gonna actually, hit it out of the ballpark and
Oh,
nail it,
mhm.
I wasn't gonna do it. because why would I set myself up for something? And so having the ability to, like you're saying, like being able to look at it and say, I don't know what this is going to look like. I don't know how I'm going to show up, but I'm learning so much more about me, about what comes up, about what
Mhm.
these limiting beliefs or this resistance, like we're talking about, like all of these things that I are under the surface. And I think that so often we can sit there and we can say, oh, so and so said to do it this way. So I need to show up and I need to do these things and whatever. And so we might do it and we might push through and we're wondering why we're not getting the same results. And it's because what's underneath is different for us. So we might be pushing through and it might be coming across as being pushed through. Or we might be showing up in an energy that is just not fitting for us. And we're trying to conform ourselves into what it should look like for somebody else rather than like, I'm going to get really curious about what it looks like for me and what me showing up fully as me it feels like, because that's what's going to make the most difference. That's what's going to feel the best for me. That's what's going to be the most exciting, the most fun. That's what's going to bring me the most opportunities, the most possibilities is if I am just really fully inhabiting who I am and moving from that place and growing from that place. Cause I might have different things that I need to work on or grow in or do things than somebody over there. But the basic, like getting down to it is just finding what those underlying limitations might be. And then just getting curious and being like, okay, no, I'm going to let go of the idea of what it's supposed to look like. And I'm just going to embrace what it looks like for me. And I'm just going to try it and
Yeah,
see, and
and being
maybe yeah.
sorry to interrupt. And being honest with where you are, which I think is what you're saying too. And another thing you taught me, because a lot of times working through the different process, huge resistance came up. It was almost funny, hilarious. Like I remember once trying to write an email and physically my fingers wouldn't move. And I was like, I write emails all day long.
Yeah.
What's going on? And so then having to like tune in and understand that is also just being honest with where you are and appreciating that. So I think that's yeah, awesome. How do you think we can take all this
Yeah.
also I appreciate it feels like a new definition of alignment,
Yeah.
you know, whereas I used and maybe I've said this before, for me alignment used to feel like that pushing of having to like line up everything else in my life into a straight line with me, and now it feels more like okay, figure out where your light is, what's important to you, and then from there make decisions and allow the stuff to line up with you. How can we take that into May, into the next month?
Yeah, I think this was a really great opportunity for being able to own those parts of ourselves, to get curious, to get, interested in, like, growing and changing. I mean, we are moving into this, like, full-on spring mode where everything around us is growing, it's changing, the buds are starting to burst open, and, I'm looking at one of my favorite quotes about it is like, when the, pain of being in the bud, and I'm gonna butcher the delivery, but when the pain of being encased in the bud is too much that you have to burst forward and open up. And I think that for people that have been feeling heaviness, that they've been feeling like this unstable, like unsteady potential just rising up in them, and it's just been whether it's themselves holding it back, whether it's just been, ideas outside of them that they've just kind of ingrained. But when you get to that point, like this is the time to be able to just take that and say, okay, like I am done being stuck. I am done being stagnant. I am done just sitting here thinking about all the things that I want to do and the life that I want to make and the impact that I want to make. And this is more painful than just doing that next thing, that next crazy thing that might be the thing that makes all the difference. Because being able to bring that and just saying, like, what is it for me? Not what I think I should do, not what somebody told me that I should do. What is it for me? that will really feel good. And it doesn't have to be business related. It doesn't have to be like personal development related, even like spending more time with your kids, going out into nature, having a date night with your partner, like doing something fun. Like, what is the thing that is going to light you up? And then start bringing more of that in. And all of these other parts will just kind of start to line up because you're doing it from a place of empowered, like aligned self.
Yes. That sounds so exciting when you say it. May, here we come. And
Yeah.
also, I think giving yourself the grace that it's okay not to have all the answers. I'm definitely in my type A, get it all done. I'm also a very much a solution, fix it person. And so stepping out into that uncomfortable zone means you don't know what's going on and you don't have the answers. And that can be really hard to admit to or really hard to go with the flow
Yeah.
because there's a lot of, I don't know the right answer situations.
Yeah. And also like reframing that, like, yeah, I don't know the right answer. And so, you know what? There probably isn't a right answer. There's
Mm.
probably not one right answer. And isn't that awesome that I can go out there and discover a right answer or a wrong answer that'll lead me to one that's more right for me?
Yes. Make the decision and make it work for you.
Yeah.
God, agreed.
Hmm. Um, what is there any things that you are looking forward to as we're coming into this next season, as we're kind of really embracing this feelings of alignment, feeling of like being able to have more of that focused energy? Are there things that you are looking forward to? Are there things that are scaring you that you're maybe anticipating or bringing in? Like what does it look like for you to kind of take these new beliefs and new way of looking at things and being able to maintain? Because I think sometimes it's easy to start
Mm.
and then being able to like continue to build on.
I'm looking forward to the confidence that practice brings. So just to keep going helps it be less scary each time. Um, and also gives me the confidence that I can get back to like adding things in. I'm not there yet. I'm still focused kind of on mostly on one thing, and that feels good. But I know the more that I do and the more that I practice, the less time it'll take me to respond and the more ability I'll have to do all the things that I dream about and love at the same time. Um, well, you might have to ask me the question again. I lost it.
Hang on, I want to go back to what you just said too, because I think that this is really just a really good takeaway. And that is embracing the confidence that practice brings me.
Yes.
Because doing it, getting in the reps, doing the thing, and just doing it more and more and more, you become more confident. And like you're saying, like I'm not at adding more things in yet. But once those things that used to feel hard or scary or would make you a little anxious, then you start to feel confident in it because you're putting in all these reps. And then you can bring in another thing.
Yes, which reminded me of the second part that I wanted to say. Thank you. Opportunities. Yeah, I talk about it all the time and I know how it works and I know how energy works and the law of attraction works and all those wonderful things. But I'll say it a million times till I can't say it anymore. The difference between knowledge and wisdom, the difference between knowing something and applying it is just night and day. And so I'm finally applying some of this knowledge and it's just beautiful how some opportunities just open up.
Mm.
And they are such grains of hope. You know, like not to mention how excited I am for the opportunities and go, "Oof, that's better than I could have come up with right now. Excellent. I will say yes. I don't know what's going to happen, but here we go." So that's exciting. But then I know, well, wait a second, if that happened, that's a good sign the door is open. And if the door is open, that means the wind can blow through and we can have something else happen. So it's just that type of momentum, that growing of the inner flame and the hope and the excitement for this is something it's happening even though I don't know what's happening or how it's happening or when it's happening or what it's gonna look like, allows that relief and that relaxing into that trust and that faith that I have been working on building. So that opening the door to opportunity and not feeling like I have to constantly make my opportunities is big for me.
Opening the door to possibility and not having to make it. Amazing. I love it. I don't have to make it. I don't have to force it. I can just open the door to it. If people take anything from this conversation, I think that they should take that.
Yay. Yeah, it's a much different approach feeling. It sounds the same, but it doesn't feel the same.
It does not feel the same. No. No, force feels heavy. It feels like pressure, and opening the door to possibility means I am here and I'm awaiting it. And I know and I'm anticipating, like, I feel like it's going to be good. And like you're saying, like, I did these things, I tried these things, I showed up a little bit differently, and now I'm seeing these glimmers of hope. And these glimmers of
Yeah.
hope are going to increase my confidence. I'm going to show up even more. For
Right.
those
It all
next
goes
things.
together. And at that very base level, I feel like it's that difference between I'm doing enough and I am enough. That difference of the let me make it happen and get all the things done. I've shown up and done my part. Where's the universe? Why isn't it happening? And oh, right. I have to just keep learning to be a better version of me. I'm getting excited about that and showing up in that capacity and being open to saying yes, even when I don't want to because I'm scared. And then that grows.
Yes. Oh, I love it. Is there anything else that you wanted to hit on?
No, I'm really hoping you pulled a card.
I sure did. All right, we got freedom.
Oh,
got some
bam.
spirit.
Spirit does it again.
Oh,
Right on
cliff
target.
swallows. All right, so freedom, the cliff swallow. The swallow flies free on wind currents and thermals in remarkable aerial maneuvers, igniting the expression as free as a bird. In many cultures, such as that of the ancient Egyptians, the swallow was thought to carry souls to heaven. Early sailors would tattoo themselves with an image of a swallow, so if they drowned, the swallow would carry their soul to the heavens.
Wow.
In poor light, a cliff swallow looks brownish gray. However, in good lighting, it is luminous, metallic, dark blue. Cliff swallows traditionally make their nests on vertical cliffs, carefully crafting them out of mud. Although they can nest solitarily, they usually nest in colonies. When one finds a cloud of insects, it alerts the other members of the flock so that all can be nourished. Even though they fly free, their community supports them. Express yourself without hesitation. Break free and let your spirit fly. Make choices that increase your freedom. Don't be tied down. Laugh, dance, explore, and go beyond predictable behavior. Be daring. Cast aside restrictions. Find your wings. As you do, you'll help others find theirs. You are not here to be ordinary or live a mundane life. You are here to step beyond limitations and self-imposed boundaries. Do not be trapped by convention or the need to please others. Choose life on your terms. Don't accept rules that don't feel right. You can be immensely free and yet still be part of a loving, supportive community.
So perfect. I mean, amen. Mic drop. What do you want to say to that? There's nothing else to add.
I'm gonna say, I don't know that we could end any better.
No. Now I have to go find an image of a cliff swallow to hang up. That's fantastic. Oh, that, yes.
All of it.
All of it. Well, and it just so beautifully illustrates what we just talked about, which of course is spirit nailing it again.
Of course it did.
Yes, it
Of
did.
course it did. We're all in tune here.
Well, thank you so much. Now I'm going to extend that excitement into May, and here we go. Let's see what freedom it brings.
Here we go. Let's open that door.
Thank you for joining me on Intuitive Wisdom. If this episode brought you clarity or inspiration, please take a moment to leave a 5-star review. It truly helps others find this space. And if someone you love, you could use a shift in energy, share this episode with them. You never know what might resonate. For more, explore my frequency reset service, tune into more episodes, or begin the journey through my book, all at deliciousease.com. That's DELICIOUSEASE.com. All right, until next time, trust your energy, honor your space, and keep coming home to yourself.